What made you lose a significant amount of weight? My teenage son asked to go to Italy on a school trip. I wanted to go as well, but I knew I was too big to fly comfortably and do all the walking the trip required. I lost around 70 pounds before the trip. That was a year ago. I decided to keep going and have lost 130 pounds to date. Update. Wow. So many upvotes. Thank you all so much for your kind words. As far as how did I do it? I started with Zepbound. I needed the help to start my journey. I stalled after a few months because I didn't make any changes aside from the meds. Now I focus my meals on higher protein and small amounts of carbs. I noticed I binge when I cut out all carbs. I am also sure to drink plenty of water and electrolytes. I move most of my day. I'm a high school teacher, so that affords me the opportunity to do so. I am now starting to walk consistently and lift weights. I'm in this for life. I want to see my grandchildren and play with them. When I was in high school, my biology teacher blended a Happy Meal burger and fries and left the mix in a refrigerator overnight. The next day when she showed it to the class again, it was about 60 white congealed fat on top. It was a big wake-up call for me as an overweight teen who ate junk. I started eating right, riding my bike, eventually moved on to running and going to the gym. Lost about 40 pounds. Fantastic teacher. Eating to not be hungry anymore instead of eating to be full. Someone said I couldn't do it, so I guess the reason is spite. Depression. Ate less, ate healthier, and exercised. I didn't make a lot of big changes at once either. First thing I did was cut sodas out of my diet. Then a couple of weeks later, I started leaving cheese off my burgers, hot dogs. Couple of weeks after that started ordering small meals at fast food places instead of large ones. Then I started eating cucumber slices instead of chips freeze. Then instead of eating shit like candy bars, I switched to chocolate-covered fruit, and eventually to just regular fruit. Stuff like that. As for exercise, again, nothing major. First change was walking once around the block I lived on. For weeks that was it. Then I started adding in bicep curls. Then sit-ups. Then push-ups. Then light stretches. Over a 6-month period I went from 345 and walking a half mile leaving me breathless with chest pains to 267 and walking several miles at a time. I gained a ton of weight due to severe mental health issues. This resulted in becoming a couch potato and eating garbage food. After stabilizing my life, eventually I found a job as a baker at Tim Hortons. I worked 6 days a week for 4 months and ended up losing 50 pounds by just being on my feet moving 8-9 hours a day 6 days a week. I find it ironic that I lost that much weight by working at a donut shop. Quit a job, unemployed for 3 months. I pretty much did push-ups all day and only ate rice, eggs, and chicken thighs. No alcohol too. Went from 210 to 185 in about 10 weeks. In 2020, I weighed 335 pounds, I am 57 tall, and was being treated for coronary artery disease and type 2 diabetes. In 2021, my doctor told me I was going to have a heart attack any day now. He suggested I get weight loss surgery or diet and exercise. Because of diabetes, I qualified for Trulicity, which is a diabetes medication that also suppresses appetite. He told me that he has seen patients lose up to 30 pounds and even that would help. I took his advice but also began counting calories. In a year I had lost about 70 pounds and began working out. I have now lost over 100 pounds and no longer require treatment for diabetes or heart disease. I work out 6 days a week and work at my gym and now teach exercise classes to seniors. Live strong. Gastroparesis. It got so bad that my body tolerated literally nothing that I ate and I'd be in pain and vomiting. When I was 17 I was in hospital for 5 months and I had to have Roman 4 nutrition so I didn't die. I lost 125 and counting in just over a year. Sugar. I ditched sugar. Real sugar. Fake sugar. I stopped drinking everything except water for the first year. I stopped craving it and now honestly everything I eat tastes so overly and grossly sweet. I prefer to just have nibbles of a sweet vs a pint of Ben and Jerry's like I once did. What made me want to change though and gave me the push I needed should probably be the real question here. 2 years ago I was diagnosed with stage 3C breast cancer, just turned 31. I gained about 40 pounds from all the steroids and chemotherapy drugs. Then I rang the bell, whoa, got divorced, another big whoa, trust me. Started radiation therapy, completed that and then met with my plastic surgeon for reconstruction surgery. He looked at me and told me congratulations for beating my cancer, but I wasn't a candidate for the surgery I wanted until I lost weight. I left in tears. I had about 48 hours of pity party, then I threw up my hands and decided that was it. Needless to say, when I saw him again just 6 months ago for my big surgery, he was floored. So here I am 2 years later from my cancer diagnosis, and I feel like a whole new person from the outside in, and it feels great. Stopped eating in the mornings the second I started eating. I would be hungry and continue eating. So by limiting that window, I could easily cut out a fuck ton of calories. Also made a mental effort to stop eating when I feel full, not when my plate is cleared, bag of chips is empty. As to what made me decide to lose weight, I wanted to like seeing myself in photos. I wanted to feel more comfortable fitting into my clothes, and I wanted more energy. Lost my stomach due to cancer and over 100 pounds. It sucks. Quitting alcohol was responsible for 35 lb loss over a year. Lung cancer did the trick, lost 93 pounds, but also was miserable for 3 years. Effective, unpleasant. 210 wouldn't recommend. For me, the turning point consisted of a few realizations roughly around the same time. Felt a little like puzzle pieces falling into place. TBH. 1. Figuring out what actual hunger felt like. I had always confused hunger with the feeling of space in my then overstretched tummy, and genuinely didn't know better. 2. Truly realizing that I was only doing this for myself and nobody else. I like me and I want me to be healthy. 3. Finally accepting that progress isn't linear, and therefore losing my black and white thinking about calories. No more binge starvation cycle. All the best to you on your journey. A crazy energetic puppy. I'd walk her for miles to tire her out. Didn't really work, but I lost 60 pounds in a year. Honestly, it was just hitting a point where I felt done with excuses. I started with small changes like cutting out soda, walking more, and it snowballed from there. Consistently really was the game changer for me. You know the joke about how to starve an introvert? Put a stranger in their kitchen. Except for me, it was severe social anxiety, and I was forced to live in the college dorms where the only source of food was a crowded cafeteria. That plus a depression, anxiety, sleep deprivation cocktail, and I weighed about 86 pounds my first couple years in college. Would not recommend. Gastroparesis and GERD.